Stay with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mark Skousen, longtime friend on Adam Smith Day. You know it's Meatball Day too, right? For us Italians that celebrate.
Well, let's indulge with something to eat.
So listen to me. I don't know that you probably predicted today would be such a wild ride in the markets when you're trying to celebrate the birth of capitalism, right? And the father behind it. So what do you make of just all the volatility? I mean, you've seen more ups and downs in the markets than I have by a decade or so. So how do you sort this out for our listeners?
It's funny because Adam Smith advocated three basic policies that are necessary for economic growth, and they were peace, easy taxes, and a tolerable administration of justice. And I think two out of the three are out of kilter right now with the trade war. That's not easy taxes. Those are high taxes. And then we have war going on in the Middle East. And, you know, you talked about the oil price going up to 110. Do you know what really fueled that is Israel, without the U.S. permission, bombed a bunch of depots, fuel depots of the Iranians. So the supply chain has been disrupted pretty significantly, and it's going to take a while to get back into place. Now, granted, Iranian oil isn't as much as it used to be, but still it's affecting the market. And I think that's a long-term play. I think it's
don't you think that was strategic though? Don't you think that was a strategic move to bring an end to the war quicker? Because Iranian oil, they produce about 5 million barrels a day, and only about 1 million of that or so goes towards export. So if you cut off their supplies, you kind of squeeze them out sooner, right? I mean, you got to put a stranglehold on it to get to the end of this. But what's your take?
That was the strategy, but why do it without consulting with the U.S. forces? I mean, they must be really ticked that this is supposed to be a joint venture. And the fear is that look, what if you end up bombing actual production? That could be a long-term effect as well. But anyway, it is the supply chain, and that's what caused the price to go up so dramatically, and stocks to Wall Street is reeling. Look, war is inflationary. War is the health of the state. So both factors are negative for the Adam Smith model of economic growth. You want to have cheap government. You want to have government that doesn't constantly interrupt the commerce globalization. And we're seeing in the trade war and so forth, we're seeing all of that taking place. I have to admit, I'm impressed that Wall Street hasn't collapsed even more. So
you're not normally a guy half glass empty. So this is surprising me. What's the path back to the right fundamentals for Adam Smith? I mean, where do you see one back to cheap government, lower taxation? I mean, is that possible? A balanced budget, dare I say? Are we ever going to see that in our lifetimes?
Well, we're not going to see it anytime soon. Trump himself wants to increase the defense budget, the war budget, let's call a spade, to $1.5 trillion. That's a 50% increase. Deficit is not going to go down. And, you talked about job growth and AI and so forth. It is interesting that I agree with you that AI is not going to be as disruptive. I mean, it's disruptive. It's creative disruption, if you will, that Schumpeter talked about. But it'll create more jobs than it will lose. I'm convinced of that. I use AI all the time, by the way. Any kind of issue or question I have, my students go on AI. They use it all the time. This is healthy. Oh, yeah.
You're an anomaly, because I got to tell people, we've known each other probably almost 30 years now. That's crazy, isn't it? And I know you as just a very well-rounded economist, market strategist, but you also carry around silver and gold coins with you. So the guy that's been a gold and silver bug for his entire life, also being an early adopter of AI is shocking to me. So how did you start using AI? Was it the students? Because you are also a professor that they pulled you into?
The silver coin right here.
See?
To remind me of my roots. Yes, but I'm also into Bitcoin, and of course, Alec Green and others at the Oxford Club we're in dispute over the value of blockchain technology. You've got to stay ahead. I think that was one of the mistakes Warren Buffett made, and why he's not outperforming the market like he used to. He doesn't understand a lot of this new technology, and you have to be willing to look at AI and blockchain technology and everything else that's going on. you don't want to stick your head in the sand and just deal with the
Right.
past. You have to look to the future, and that's why I'm with the Oxford Club and leaving Eagle Publishing, because they didn't keep up.
Yeah. So it's funny. Let's talk about that. Looking to the future, where do you see? Because look, you have a long track record of very successful stock picking as well. I think most people think of economists like weathermen, right? You can be right. You know, you got 3 of the last 2 recessions properly predicted, but you have an amazing track record picking stocks. Where are you finding opportunity in the new technology related names here in this market for our listeners? What do you like in this market that seems to be overinflated sometimes in tech?
Well, I have to, humility was one of the virtues you're talking about. I lucked out that just as I switched over from forecasts and strategies at Eagle Publishing over to the Oxford Club, there's very few areas that I've seen much opportunity, to be honest with you. I mean, I have 17 positions. This year, 10 out of the 17 are still profitable. So I'm up 8% on average, which is not bad. But since this war has occurred, I mean, it's hit pretty much everything. It's very hard to hide from this sort of thing. The one stock that has done well is my penny stock that I'm promoting for people to subscribe to my newsletter. And I'm not going to reveal it here, but it's done well. It's up almost 40%.
Well, you can't give it away because it's a marketing thing. So people need to go to the Skousen report on the oxfordclub.com. But can you at least tell us what sector it's in? And let's separate penny from promotion, because you're not a promoter. It's used for marketing. It's an actual fundamental analysis. I know you can be humble, but I can brag about you. That's what friends can do.
Well, I would say that this is in the commodity sector, and it's one of those critical elements that it's called the magical metal. And I'll tell you, this is where the Trump administration is involved, and they're actually buying companies of critical elements. That's a new phenomenon and so forth. So I think there is opportunity there. And somebody mentioned biotech. I actually think biotech never really, after COVID, I mean, there was a lot of interest back then, but it's more of it's a underperformer compared to the Magnificent Seven. So Amgen is one of my favorite stocks, and it's up 12% this year. And I must say, defense stocks is another area that I am bullish on. So I am involved in that, and I do have a couple of energy positions. So these have done well. It's the commodity sector and defense spending, if you want to name some sectors that I think have real potential. But unfortunately, you don't want defense spending to go through the roof. That's an indication that government is too invasive, engaged in too many foreign wars and stuff like that. I'm in it just because that's where the market is going. But AI, I think we're in the middle. I mean, it's 2026. We're in the middle of this AI technology revolution. That's what I'm going to.
How long do you think it can last? And when you say middle, we're what, 3-4 years in by your estimations? We got another 3 to 4 years of really seeing the productivity gains and profits drop to the bottom line on companies?
Yeah, it's another roaring 20s. I see it as a repeat of the roaring 20s, which of course
I was not alive, Mark. I don't think you were either, though, right? Please tell me. I said I wasn't alive during the roaring 20s. You got to remind us what it was like.
Oh, you are bad. I'm not that old.
I know.
My goal is to continue to write the Skousen report until I reach my next Fibonacci number. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I don't know what your next Fibonacci number is, so you'll have to tell us.
Well, it's not 144.
Yeah. So speaking of the Skousen report, because you did just switch to come work with the Oxford Club, Alec Green, Mark Lichtenfeld, those guys, again, fellow friends and colleagues. Where can everyone find your latest research, and where can they find you online as well?
Well, if they go to SkousenOxford.com is the website that they provided for me right now. I'm still waiting for Eagle to have transferred markskousen.com. And until they do that, if they go to Skousen, SKOUSEN, I don't know if my name is up on the screen, SkousenOxford.com is where they can find more information about my newsletter, monthly newsletter, plus a hotline. And one other thing I want to mention is that Adam Smith was a genius. he created a formula so that he could convert private self-interest into the public benefit. And he called it the invisible hand doctrine. And he did it by devising a system where you channel private interest through the rule of law, basic judiciary controls, laws of justice, and robust competition. And you talk about competition all the time in the stock market. And that's where Adam Smith has achieved his great success and why we're celebrating Adam Smith today.
Well, listen, Mark, I always appreciate your insights. I'd love to have you come back on the show when you're in New York next time. We can sit here and have a proper, lengthy conversation. We do have a question here from one of our most prolific commenters, Chad, a fan of the show, great guest. Do you feel copper is a strong accumulation in 2026? And what position does he add for, what do you think about Bitcoin and Ethereum as well?
Yeah, so copper is one of my 17 positions. And it is one of the strongest performers this year. So I've been recommending it. Southern Copper, in case anybody's interested, you could take a look at the chart on that. I think it's much better than Freeport-McMoRan. And then as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned, I think they're bottoming here and starting to move up. But my approach is to go through an ETF called Amplify Fund. Symbol BLOK, because that deals with companies that are advanced. And by the way, I like your AI reference. I call it advanced technology or advanced intelligence, not there's nothing artificial about it, right? So,
no, there's not. But I got to ask you, have you ever looked at BTGD? It's an ETF. It's stacked 100% Bitcoin and 100% gold exposure. So that way you can carry on your.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a combo. So you get exposure and it's got some trading around the contracts that actually generate some income. So it's one to put on your list too. We've had it here on the show. We're looking and talking to the creator behind it here before long. But Mark, I always appreciate your insights, and I encourage everyone here to check out SkousenOxford.com to get the latest from Dr. Mark Skousen on National Meatball Day and Adam Smith Day. Enjoy your celebration, my friend.
Thank you, Lou. Real pleasure.
Right,
Take care.